nothing. This budget has done nothing to address any one of the challenges that I've outlined. The government behaves and acts as though it is on the right path and has delivered on the issues that matter to the common people. This is false. This is also bull-headed obduracy. This also reflects the government's contemptuous disregard of the burdens and sufferings of the people. I was astonished, shocked, that the finance minister was outlining a plan for the next 25 years, which he called the Amrit Kal. The government seems to believe that the present does not need any attention, and the people living in the present can be asked to wait patiently until the Amrit Kal dawns. This is nothing but mocking the people of India, especially the poor and the deprived. There was not a word in the speech about any cash assistance to the very poor who've been pushed into extreme poverty and suffered immensely during the last 2 years. Not a word for those who had lost their jobs. Not a word about creating jobs for those whose education stopped at some stage at the school level. Not a word about reviving MSMEs that had shut down. Not a word about distributing more food to combat malnutrition and hunger. Not a word about cutting indirect taxes, especially GST, to contain inflation and bring down the prices of goods. And not a word about giving tax relief to the tax-paying middle class or the tax-bearing head of a household. By any standard, today's budget speech was the most capitalist speech ever read by a finance minister. The FM has mastered the jargon of capitalist economics. Read her speech again. Count the number of times she used the words digital, portal, IT-based, paperless, database, ecosystem, global, Atmanirbhar. The word poor occurs only twice in paragraph 6, and we thank the FM for remembering that there are poor people in this country. There are worrying macroeconomic indicators. Top of the list is that the fiscal deficit for 2021-22 has overshot the target of 6.8% and is estimated at 6.9%. For the next year, it will be 6.4%. That is insufficient correction if the goal is to reach 4% 3 years hence by 2025-26. The financing of the fiscal deficit is also a matter of concern. 70% of the FD in 2022-23 will be financed by market borrowing as against 55% in the current year, crowding out private sector borrowing. The worry from the welfare angle is greater. Every key subsidy has been slashed. I repeat it, every key subsidy has been slashed. I'm reading the figures for the current year, 21-22, and the next year, 22-23. Petroleum from 6,517 crore to 5,813 crore. Fertilizer from 1,40,000 crore to 1,05,000 crore. Food, 2,86,219 crore rupees to 2,06,481 crore rupees. The outlay for agriculture and allied activities from 4.3% of GDP to 3.84% of GDP. Crop insurance from 15,989 crore to 15,500 crore. Maganrega from 98,000 crore to 73,000 crore. The total subsidy bill has been cut by a humongous 27%. This is the most unkindest cut in this budget. The finance minister may have forgotten the poor, but the poor have long memories. The next worry is about raising more resources. The FM is betting on heavy market borrowing, an increase in corporate tax by 85,000 crore, personal income tax by another 85,000 crore, and GST by 1,05,000 crore. There is not a word about raising more resources from the rich, especially the very, very rich 142 persons whose wealth in the last 2 years has increased from 23 lakh crore to 53 lakh crore. You will ask me, no doubt, if there is not any aspect of the budget that I welcome. There is a short list of 3. 1, the FM has promised capital expenditure of 7,50,000 crore in 22-23, as against a revised estimate of 6,02,711 crore in 21-22, and I welcome it. 2, the FM has promised an additional borrowing of 1 lakh crore rupees to the states free of interest. I welcome that. The budget speech was mercifully shot at 1 hour and 30 minutes, and I welcome that most heartily. Parliament may vote this budget because the ruling party is a brute majority in the Lok Sabha, but the people will reject this capitalist budget.
Thank you, sir. Very, very briefly, आपने पूरा P Chidambaram साहब ने कहा वो पढ़ा और
नमस्कार, मैं हूं मानक गुप्ता। अगर आपको हमारा ये वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो इसे लाइक और शेयर जरूर करें और हां, हमें सब्सक्राइब और फॉलो करना ना भूलें ताकि आप देश और दुनिया की कोई खबर मिस ना करें। तो जुड़े रहिए हमारे साथ और देखते रहिए News24।